In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a n8n workflow, along with a web app that you can use online and even share with others. This app takes screenshots of your trading screens and analyzes them for you. Now, when I first started trading, most of it didn't make any sense. Those charts can be seriously confusing. So I leaned on my skills as a developer and built something to make it easier. I automated the process, and today, I'm excited to share it with you. Alright, first, let me give you a quick demo. This n8n workflow kicks off with a webhook. I'm going to trigger that webhook off screen and send in an image, a screenshot of a TradingView screen. Once the image is received, the image processor gets to work. It analyzes the screenshot, taps into some LLM magic to generate a summary, then packages everything into a response payload. And finally, it sends me an email with the results. In the email, I get a clear title and a summary of the current market status. It breaks down the prices, trends, and highlights key support and resistance levels. Then it goes a step further, with a simple analysis that explains how the chart actually works, what it might be indicating, and even offers tips on how I can improve my trading. If you do this daily and compare it with the actual charts, it becomes a super effective way to learn how to read financial charts, and over time, that can really boost your investment game. In my version, I actually built a Google Chrome extension. So, I just navigate to the page, click a button on the screen, and that triggers the whole process. Super simple. But the real idea behind today's video is to show you how to vibe code. I figured this would be a nice 2-for-1. I'll walk you through the investment analysis tool and then dive into how to vibe code, an approach that lets you build apps like this one. Whether you want to analyze all kinds of images or create entirely different tools, the techniques I'm sharing today will give you the foundation to bring those ideas to life. Alright, to kick things off, we're going to create a webhook. Click the plus sign and search for webhook. Then go ahead and click on it. Now for the settings, change the method to post. The path is where you define the endpoint name, and this can be anything you like, so for today, let's call it upload. Next, make sure to set respond to using respond to webhook node. This tells n8n not to reply to the calling app right away. Instead, it'll wait until the entire workflow is complete before sending a response. Close out of this. Now, just for now, add a code node. And lastly, add a webhook respond. Alright, so what we've done here is set up a basic workflow that can accept an incoming call from an app. Right now, the code node doesn't actually do anything. It just passes along whatever data it receives. Then we've got the respond to webhook node, which simply echoes back the input. So yeah, it's not doing much yet, but it's just enough to test that everything's working. Now for the fun part. We're going to build an actual app and hook it up to call this webhook. Let's dive in. Alright, first up, we want to describe our app to an LLM, in this case, ChatGPT. So here's what I'm going to say. Please help me craft a prompt for an AI app creator to build a web app for me. The app should work like this. I want a simple screen where I can upload an image. Once the image is uploaded, the app should call an existing API endpoint that I've already set up, so there's no need to build a backend. Just connect to the one we already have. That way, the LLM knows exactly what we're aiming for, and it can help generate the front end for our app without duplicating what's already done. Next, we'll add to our prompt that when the API endpoint responds, it will return HTML. We want the app to display that response in a clean, stylish, and visually appealing way. You can go into as much detail as you want here. Describe the vibe, the layout, the color scheme, whatever suits your use case. The more you paint the picture, the better the AI can match your vision. And finally, we wrap it up with a short description of what the app is for. Again, you can keep it simple or go all out with details. It's totally up to you. As you can see, ChatGPT now crafts a detailed prompt based on all this info. It's very similar to the first step in traditional software development, where you explain your idea to a developer and they create a conceptual plan. What's great about using LLMs and AI is that it makes this whole process incredibly accessible. You don't need to be a software engineer. If you've got an idea, you can bring it to life without writing a single line of back-end code. Alright, now ChatGPT will take all that input and generate a detailed prompt outlining exactly what the app should include. Sure, you could write this prompt yourself, but I find it super helpful to let the LLM do it. It often catches things you might overlook or didn't even think about, which makes the final result more complete and polished. Oops, forgot one important detail. We didn't tell ChatGPT which endpoint the app needs to call, so let's head back to n8n. If you double-click on your webhook node, you'll see two buttons at the top, one for the test URL and one for the production URL. Just click on the test URL to copy it. Now hop back over to ChatGPT and paste that into your prompt. Let it know that this is the endpoint the app should call when an image is uploaded. That way, the app knows exactly where to send the data. Alright, once ChatGPT finishes generating the prompt, go ahead and highlight it, copy it, and head over to bolt.new. Now, if you're not familiar with it, bolt.new is a platform that uses LLMs to write actual code. It can generate full front-end and back-end applications using various frameworks, and it even hosts them for you. So, log in using your Google account. From my experience, the free tier lets you build at least 3 solid web apps. Plenty to get started. Paste your prompt into the dialog box on the site, click Begin, and let the magic happen. Now, depending on how complex your app instructions are, this could take anywhere from a few seconds to maybe an hour. So go ahead, grab a coffee, sit back, and let your virtual senior developer bring your idea to life. This part always tickles me. I've been a senior developer, architect, and engineer for over 30 years, and watching AI spin up files, folder structures, and a working app this quickly still blows my mind. So if you're a developer and you're not using AI in your daily workflow yet, now's the time to start. AI isn't going to take your job, but someone using AI just might. So be ahead of the curve. Embrace the tools. And just like that, there's your web app. Now, just to show you how this works, the AI has generated the first draft of the application. From here, you can tweak anything you want. For example, I'm going to tell it, I'm not really fond of the blue. Can you change it to something like teal? And instantly, it gets to work. You can actually see the changes happening live on the screen. It's honestly fantastic. Alright, great. Now it's time to test everything out. Head back to n8n and click on Test Workflow to activate the webhook. Just take a quick screenshot of a chart. If you don't have one, I'll include one in the school resources file for you. Alright, as you can see, the request successfully hit the endpoint and returned some data. Don't worry about the messy output. That's just the raw data we sent to n8n, being immediately echoed back to us. The important part is, the connection works. Now that we've confirmed data is flowing to and from our n8n instance, let's go ahead and complete the workflow so it actually processes the image. First things first, let's clean up the workflow. We don't need the code node anymore, so go ahead and delete it. Then break the connection between the webhook node and the response node. Now, click the plus icon, search for lang, and select the basic LangChain node. Rename it to something like Image Processor. Set the configuration to Define below, and make sure to toggle on Require Specific Output Format. Next, head over to the resources page on our school community site, copy the prompt provided there, and paste it into the prompt box in n8n. Click Add Prompt and select User. Under Message Type, choose Image. Now for Image Data Field Name, this needs to match the name of the field being sent by the app. In our case, that's File. Click out of the configuration, and remember to save often. Alright, now let's add the model. Click the plus sign, search for OpenAI, and select Chat Model. For this one, we're going to use GPT-4. If you haven't authenticated yet, just head over to OpenAI and grab your API key. If you're not sure how to do that, I've got a separate video explaining the steps. I'll drop the link in the description for you. Next, we need to define the output format. Head back to the Community Resources page, copy the output structure provided there, and paste it into the Output Format section in n8n. Great stuff. That's about it. Now go ahead and click on Test Workflow in n8n. Then switch back to your app, upload another image, and click Select Image. As you can see, it triggered our workflow and it's currently processing. Alright, it's done. Let's check out what the app came up with. Perfect, there it is. A clean, accurate analysis of our financial chart. There's just one small thing that's bugging me. We've got 2 scroll bars on the screen. So let's fix that. On the chart analysis, I don't like the scrolling box. Please use the whole display. Hit Enter, let it do its thing, and then we'll test it again. Yes, that's much better. Clean, full screen, and easy on the eyes. Just the way we like it. That's a great question. How do we actually share this with others? Easy. Just click on the Deploy button. This will package up your app and push it live on one of Bolt's servers, making it accessible to anyone with the link. Here's a special link you can use to transfer the app to your own server, just like we did for n8n in the previous tutorial. That way, you can host it yourself for almost nothing. But for now, let's keep it simple and run it on the Bolt server. Just copy and paste this link into your browser. In n8n, click on Test Workflow again and upload a new image. Great! Now we have a brand new app with a fully functional backend. But let's be honest, we don't want to manually start n8n every time we upload an image, right? So let me show you how to fix that. Give your workflow a cool name, like TradeView Image Analyzer. Now, go ahead and activate it. This puts it into active listening mode, meaning it'll run 24/7. Next, double-click your webhook node. Then head over to Bolt and prompt it with, "Please update the API endpoint too," and paste in the URL. Bolt will update the endpoint, and bingo, you're all set. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you found this helpful or it sparked some ideas for your own automation journey, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps more productivity enthusiasts discover these time-saving techniques. Until next time, keep automating the boring stuff. I'll see you in the next video.